Bring stories that touch the heart. Stories that dig deep into emotions most of us try to ignore. Stories that remind us just how delicate love can be. And how heavy the truth feels when it finally reaches you. Life, they say, can change in an instant, but not always with fireworks or chaos. Sometimes change is quiet, almost invisible. Sometimes it's a whisper, a hesitation, or a tiny sound that doesn't belong in the silence. That's how my life changed. Not with shouting, not with crashing, just a faint sound that almost passed unnoticed. Almost. From the outside, our home looked like something from a lifestyle magazine. The walls were freshly painted, the lawn meticulously trimmed, curtains white and flawless. Neighbors would smile and say, "You two are perfect together," and I'd smile back, nodding politely, pretending I believed it. But perfection is tricky. It's a mask that can hide decay beneath it. Behind those walls, silence had settled like dust in corners you can't reach. A heavy, suffocating kind of quiet that presses against your chest until even your own heartbeat sounds too loud. Birthdays? Polite smiles. Anniversaries? Quiet dinners, two people sitting across from each other, staring through the illusion, pretending everything was okay while the distance between us grew by miles. He, my husband, once looked at me like I was the center of his universe. Now his eyes didn't meet mine. They passed through me, as if I were a stranger wandering into a house he shared only out of habit. We slept in the same bed, ate under the same roof, followed the same routines, but our souls no longer touched. If you've ever felt that kind of silence, louder than words, more suffocating than anger, you'll know exactly what I mean. And if that resonates with you, hit subscribe. Because this story is for anyone who has ever loved quietly and realized, sometimes too late, that silence can be the cruelest sound of all. It was an ordinary Tuesday morning. Nothing special. Sunlight filtered lazily through the curtains. Coffee steamed gently in the mug beside me. The city outside hummed faintly, a background soundtrack I barely noticed. Until I heard it. A soft, rhythmic noise coming from upstairs. At first I dismissed it. The wind? The pipes? My imagination? But no, it wasn't any of that. Something in my chest froze. My spoon trembled in the mug. Something didn't belong. Not there. Not at that moment. Logic whispered, ignore it. But my heart already moved faster than reason could catch up. Before I knew it, I was climbing the stairs. Every step heavier than the last, the silence growing sharper, almost painful. At the top, I saw the door. A crack of light spilled into the hallway. My hand hovered over the doorknob, instinct screaming to turn back, but I didn't. I had to know. The door creaked open, and there it was. The glow of a screen painting his face in unnatural light. My husband, the man who once promised he'd never hurt me, was there, typing words I wasn't meant to read. Words not for me. Words meant for someone else. You make me feel alive again. Alive. That word cut through me like a knife. Because he hadn't said that to me, not in years. Not ever lately. He looked up, and our eyes met. Everything shattered in that instant. The promises, the memories, the quiet hope that maybe our love could be fixed. We didn't speak. We didn't need to. Sometimes silence screams louder than words ever could. That night, dinner was a ritual. Fork against plate. Eyes avoiding each other. Silence swallowing us whole. I wanted to scream, to beg, to demand an answer. But the anger felt wrong. Only emptiness remained. The man across from me was still my husband, technically, but he wasn't mine anymore. Our love wasn't dead that night. It had been quietly dying for years. Slowly. Methodically. And I had ignored it, pretending the silence wasn't a warning. After that night, time became meaningless. Days blurred together, heavy and hollow. Every sound, every glance, every step was a reminder of what I had lost. I'd catch him looking at his phone and feel a familiar ache rise in my chest. I'd wake at 2 a.m., the other side of the bed cold, and wonder if this was reality or some cruel dream. Two people living in the same house, pretending to be in love. I told myself to be strong, but strength is deceptive. It doesn't roar, it whispers. It makes you endure loneliness quietly, while the pain sits beside you, patient, waiting for you to break. If you've ever loved someone who forgot how to see you, you'll understand why I stayed silent. For months, I stayed quiet, drowning in the space between us. Then Friday came. The same house, the same silence, but I was different. I didn't freeze. I didn't hesitate. I climbed the stairs like someone chasing truth, not avoidance. The door opened. There he was. Same glow, same guilt flickering across his face. I finally asked, my voice trembling but cutting through the air. Why? Why am I not enough? He stammered. It doesn't mean anything. It means everything. I whispered. You chose silence over me. In that moment, something inside me broke, not from pain but from clarity. Our love hadn't died suddenly. It had been fading for years, quietly, and I had been afraid to hear its last breath. The next morning, the sun rose like it always did, but it felt different. I packed a small bag, quietly, without yelling or pleading, and stepped out. Each step toward the door was a decision. Each step forward was freedom. When I closed the door behind me, the silence that once suffocated me felt like air again. It hurt, yes, but beneath the ache was peace. For the first time in years, I had chosen myself. People talk about strength as holding on, but sometimes real strength is letting go. It's walking away from a house that looks perfect but feels hollow. It's choosing peace over pain. It's admitting, even when it shatters your heart, that this isn't love anymore. Silence had taken much from me, but it also gave something back. The courage to listen to myself again. If you've ever had to walk away from something that once meant everything, remember this. You are not alone. Every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. And if this story found you at the right moment, subscribe. Your story matters too. And maybe next time, your voice will help someone finally listen to their own. Sometimes the smallest sound can change everything. Sometimes silence is the start of freedom.